Welcome to the next video. So last video we have seen what is the size of operator. So this will give you what is the size of a variable. So if you have an integer data type, how much memory space is taken by this data type. Okay. So this class we will see how is it actually this variable stored in the memory. Okay. All the variables that you are declaring in C, they will be stored in RAM, random access memory. Okay, so basically RAM is a hardware component. It has certain spaces to store data. Okay, so all these small spaces are there in RAM. So a lot of spaces. So let's not write this. So each space can store a 1 or 0. Okay, so that means 1 bit of data can be stored in one space. So these spaces are actually grouped. RAM will be grouping these spaces into a small chunk. So this group can be of 2 bits, 8 bits, 4 bits, 32 bits, and so on. So that basically depends upon the hardware, the computer architecture, everything. Okay. So all these each groups is what is known as a word. So these are known as words. So words can be of different sizes. Generally it will be of 8 bits or 1 byte. 1 byte. It is not necessary, but generally we can assume it to be 1 byte in most of the systems. Okay. So this is a group of 1 byte of data. Each of these groups are actually given an address by the RAM. Okay, so like address 1, 2, 3, and so on, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So these addresses will be what is used to take data from this, what you know as words. Okay, so basically if computer asks to get some data from the RAM, it will ask RAM, give me the data what is stored in word 2. It will go to the second place, second word, take the data and give it to the PC. Okay, so each of these memory locations are addressed. Okay, so this address is basically not for each bit, it is for one word, or basically we can assume it to be 1 byte. So each of these bytes are numbered, and this number is what is known as a memory address. Okay, so C language, almost many of the language, but especially C language, will help you identify where is that actual memory location of any variable that you have declared. Okay, so this video we will see how do we get that memory address of a particular variable which I have declared. So this I will be doing in code blocks. You can try it in your browsers and mobile browsers. So here it is, hash include stdio. Okay. Int n return 0. Okay, so what I am going to declare is I am going to declare a double variable, double data type a. I am assigning it a equal to 25, right? Now I need the address of this variable. So where in my memory is that variable stored? Okay, so printf the location of a is, so I'll use %d, and it has a size of %lu. So %lu is for size of operator. So to get the address, what we have to use is simply we have to put an ampersand sign before a. So this ampersand, you might be familiar with our scanf. So inside scanf also, when you are taking some data from the user, this data is being pointed to that location in the RAM, so that it will go and sit at that location. Okay, and I'll use size of, I can use double here, or I can give the variable name also, both will work. Okay, so this should give me the memory location. Let's run this and see. Okay, so the location is 6684184 and it has a size of 8. Okay, so this is the address of the memory, so where this variable is, and size of 8. So there are 8 location and only one address is given. So what is the meaning of that? Okay, so we will see that. To understand this more clearly, I have declared some more variables. Okay, so this I have already done. So this you should know that ampersand a, if you write, you will get the address of the memory address of that variable. Where in memory is it actually stored? So I have already done this. So this is there. I have declared some variables. AA, int b, c. Then I am printing the location of a, b and c. So a is a double variable, so we expect it to have 8 bytes of data, size, memory size. B and C are integers, they both should be 4 bytes, at least in this PC. Then I have opened what is known as a block. Okay, so whatever I write between two braces, it is what is known as a block. So here this is a block, this entire function is a block. Whatever function you are writing, that will be block. Here I have created just another block. So there is a particular reason why I have created a block. So I just created a block and wrote another integer, int j, and I am writing what is the memory location of j and what is the size of this. This is integer, so it should be, size should be 4. After that, outside the block, I have declared an array of 2, k, it's an integer data type, and l, another integer l. Okay, so I am printing the value of k here, so l I am not using, so I may remove this l. So I'll just run this. So 84, 68. Okay, so I have already previously done this. So I have opened an Excel file. So this is my input, what we are seeing now. This is my output. Okay, and here the memory address is 6684184. So 6684184 is here. So just take this down. So from here I have just given numbers, adding 1, 84, 85, 86, 87, like that, and above it is numbers in a reducing manner. Okay, so 84, I have an 8 byte of data and it's of integer a. So from 84 I have to count 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this here I will store a. So whatever value I am getting, so this much memory will be used to store that data. Okay, second is for B it is 80. So I have to go to 80 and size is 4. So 80, 81, 82, 83. So this will be used for B. I have already done that. So B will be occupying this much spaces. Okay, so you have to remember this. This is an address given in RAM. So all these 4 addresses will be used for B. Now for C, what is the size of C? C is again integer, size is 4. Now after C, what we have declared is J. Okay, so we'll just ignore this. J has an address of 64. It is somewhere else. So let's say 64. So that also I have marked 64, 65, 66, 67 because it has 4 size. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these I am using and I am assigning for J. So whatever value of J will be stored in this location. Okay. Then I have an array K of size 2. Okay, say array of 2 elements. So if you observe here, it's an integer data type, but the size is given as 8. Now why is it so? Because it is storing 2 numbers. It is basically combination of 2 integers. Okay, we have seen here integer, the size is only 4, but since it is an array, it is giving 8 because we can store 2 integers inside this. K0 and K1 will be considered separately. So the location of that will be like this. 168 is given. So 168, 169, 170 and 171 will be used to store K of 0. 172, 73, 74, 75 will be used to store K of 1. Okay. If there are more array, let's say array of 3 means it will be having 8 into 3, that is 12. 12 spaces will be used for that. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. And why did I write this block? So one thing that you might have noticed is the J has gone up and stored itself here. All the remaining are down. Okay. So this arrangement of writing this memory space in the decreasing order is what is known as a stack. So this is what is generally known as a stack. Okay. So stack is a very common word. So basically whatever we are declaring in C, most of the variables are stored in stack, and the stacks, since it is one above the other in a decreasing order, it is stacked. So that is why the term stack comes. Okay. And one important thing that you have to notice here is, so I have declared J inside this brace. Okay, I have printed memory. Now if I go here outside the brace and assign J a value of, let's say, 12, this very much possible, we'll run this. Now what happens is, if you see, J is undeclared, it is telling, but we have already declared J. The problem with this is, whenever we have a block like this, whatever variable you are declaring inside the block, once the block is over, all those memory spaces will be freed out. Okay, so that means once the block is executed, whatever code is there inside the block is executed, the space of the J will be cleared. Once the block is over. So this is very important. So this is what is known as a scope of the variable, where all the variable will be available. The variables declared inside a block will be available only inside the block. When you get out of the block, it will not be available. Okay, so this will take us to our next video. It will be about scope of the variable. So this is very important to understand this. So this video we have seen what is a stack, how do you get the address of a variable, and how can we actually see or know the address of each variable stored in C. Right. So we'll stop it here. We'll take up in the next video.